Okay, welcome back, everybody. If you have been struck by Cupid's arrow, then you're probably asking yourself, how are we going to celebrate Valentine's Day this year? Well, don't you worry. We all know that the way to a person's, wait, how does it go? The way to a person's heart is through their stomach. Is that right, lady?
That's right for me. The good news is that our next guest says that planning a fancy feast at home doesn't have to be a huge labor of love. So here with recipes that are sure to impress is Chef Lainey Lui. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, Chef Nick, here's the thing. You've had years of training in France, so you are the perfect person to teach us about fancy food, and that's precisely what we're going to do today. And we're going to dig in with our first dish that I understand that you picked specifically for Lainey.
Absolutely. So the key thing to remember when you're planning a Valentine's menu is to cook something that they love, right? It shows that you've been paying attention, and it's the biggest expression of love I think you can show. So Lainey, this dish is for you.
Thank you so much. I'm so flattered and honored that I get to cook with you. We're going to make the Cantonese tomato beef dish that's my favorite together. Where do we start? My wok is real hot right now. It's been heating up, so let's do this.
Okay, perfect. So high heat always when you're working with a wok. And we're just going to get a little bit of our oil and make sure we have a good amount in there. And we're going to start with our beef. So I'm going to put my beef in here and give that a good sear. We're just going to turn the beef. And literally it's going to take a couple seconds. So once we have it seared off, we're going to remove the beef. I've got a bowl here.
Okay.
And put a little bit more oil in there. And the key to getting those like really great Asian flavors is a combination of ginger, garlic, and green onion. So I'm going to put my garlic, ginger, green onion in my pan and just give that a couple seconds.
Oh, it smells good. Oh.
It smells great, eh?
Smells like Mom's house.
Then we're going to add our onions, our garlic scapes, and our mushrooms. The mushrooms I got from your recipe, actually.
I got to ask, what's a garlic scape?
So garlic scapes are the tender stem of a garlic bulb. So, sorry, a garlic flower. So we're actually cooking with flower stems today.
Oh, cool.
And we're just going to cook that for a couple seconds.
I can smell the fragrance coming out of all this.
And once we have our onions and garlic and all our vegetables cooked, we're going to add our tomatoes in here. And we're just going to cook that down for a couple of seconds. And that smells beautiful.
I love this crackle.
Beautiful.
It does. There's nothing like the crackle coming off a hot wok. I love that we're cooking at high heat. Chinese people do not mess around with medium heat cooking.
Never. It's always high heat. And, you know, like it's Valentine's, so we want the kitchen to get a little bit steamy and hot. I'm going to use a little bit of my Chinese wine. And we're just going to deglaze. And I'm going to add my beef back into my dish. And we're going to toss that about. Right? And one of the key things to this dish is you don't want to overcook your tomatoes. Because your tomatoes, you do want a nice little texture in there, right? You don't want them to disintegrate. And our beef is going really nicely. And I'm going to add our sauce. And this sauce base is what's going to give it its magic.
Hey, Lainey.
Oh,
yes, from my head. Yes, my toes.
How you doing there, Lainey?
I got you there. I'm doing great. I'm so happy. I can't wait to taste this. Oh, so for sure. I mean, this is one of my favorite dishes.
And just to finish this off, we're going to add a little bit of slurry, which is just cornstarch and water. And this is going to give it this beautiful kind of sheen. It's going to thicken up that sauce, and it's going to make this dish into that magical glowing dish that you grew up with as a kid. And I remember my grandparents making this. So this is a very special dish for me, as I'm sure it is for you, Lainey. Okay.
Oh, I love, my dad used to make this for me after school. So I'm so excited to dig in. So I've taken it off the heat. And Are we ready to plate now, Chef?
We're ready to plate. So I've got a bowl of rice here because it is very important to eat this with rice. And I'm going to put it right on my plate.
Yep.
Right. And these
I'm
cherry
going to put
tomatoes.
it right on my plate too.
These cherry tomatoes in this dish is key. You're going to love this addition to this recipe. And really important thing too. And the way I'm going to finish this is I've got a black truffle, right? A winter black truffle, and I'm just going to shave this right on top.
Oh, you fancy.
Oh, yeah. So tomatoes and beef and rice, these are things that just go so well together, right? And also nothing says love like spending money on your date. So
dig in, lady, dig in.
I do feel the love from you. Thank you, Chef Nick. I'm going to taste. Mel, you can move on because you must be hungry now.
It looks amazing. I mean, I don't eat beef, but I can imagine the smells and the aromas in there. So bravo. I am starving over here. So we're going to move on to our next dish. And it is a scallop dish, which Chef Nick, you say is actually an easy one. I don't know that anybody would agree, but convince us.
Okay, so scallops are one of those things that are very impressive when you do it at home, but they're very easy to cook. So it's just a couple of sears in a hot pan, and you've got perfect scallops. Mix it with a smoky tomato sauce, emulsified with butter, and then a crab salsa, and you've got a dish that's going to impress your guest or your date.
I'm dying to eat this.
Okay, but you know what? I'm dying to eat this too, but there are some words that are scary to people in what you just said, like emulsion and crab salsa. So is it a challenge to make? You know what?
We have a trick in the restaurant industry, and we like to use fancy words, but they're very easy to make at home. We like to gussy it up for the restaurants and for the guests. Everything, the most important thing is that it's got good words and it's got a good story, and you've got a great dish.
It is phenomenal.
Is it not good?
No. Oh, wow.
Mel, I'm surprised because there's a little heat.
This is my Valentine's gift to you.
There's a little heat in it, but are you okay with that?
I'm okay with Chef Nick's heat. I'm good with this. I'm still standing. It's good. So why don't we cool this off? Because no Valentine's meal is complete unless, to me, you add in some chocolate. And for us today, it's going to be in the form of a berry dessert because I love you all very, very much. What do you have for us?
So I think the quintessential Valentine's dessert is chocolate and strawberries. So this is sort of a play to kind of make it a little bit more elegant and make it a bit more interesting. And this is also very impressive and also very easy to make, right? So we make a pavlova, which is a meringue. We bake it, and then we add berries, strawberries, and whatever berries you like, and we melt some hot chocolate, and we just drizzle that on top. And that is just one of the most sexy things I can think of. When you're making a Valentine's menu, you got to remember to keep the food light, right? So scallops and pavlova, berries, all things that are very light. Because if you're going to get it on, right, and you're looking to be and you're looking to be intimate, if you're looking to be intimate, you don't want to cook things that are too gassy.
This is light. I'm curious about the pavlova, Nick. Is the pavlova hard to make?
It takes a little bit of work on your arm, but if you have a mixer at home, it can be very, very simple because it really just takes egg whites and you whip them into a soft peak, add your sugar, your lemon juice, your vanilla, whip that again into stiff peaks, and then bake that at 250, and you've got a beautiful meringue pavlova.
Oh my gosh. I don't know that I've had pavlova before.
It's so good.
In my life, I'll be honest.
So
I'm trying to recall.
Yeah.
It is so light. It's so airy. And I love the chocolate, the berries, and then you finish it with the pistachios. And the crunch, it's like, this is a beautiful, beautiful song.
Yep.
Love song in my mouth right now. Phenomenal.
Well, I'm loving the sounds I'm hearing from you guys, so that's very important. And I'm glad I was successful in creating a Valentine's dinner for you guys.
Well, Chef, thank you so much for all of these romantic meal ideas. And we are going to put them up on our social media pages after the show. So please give them a try. Absolutely delicious for you and your love. We'll be back right after this.